of all, just reaction to last weekend?
Yeah, look, pretty disappointed with coming away with just a 1 point in the end, really. Realized it was a tough place to go. Made a few changes and rotated the squad a little bit, but yeah, look, we gave ourselves a good fighting chance to win that game, and pretty disappointed that we didn't come away with more, really. So we've had a good look at it today. Obviously, there's a few bits we can tidy up ourselves, but yeah, I think the overriding feeling is disappointed we didn't come away with a win because. We put ourselves in a pretty good position with a couple of minutes to go.
You've had a decent first block in the URC. I mean, probably shy of a couple more wins. Connacht, possibly Benetton, definitely for first game up. So how are you viewing this competition? Is it a chance to mix and match, or continue with a bit of momentum going into the festive period?
Yeah, definitely. We've seen over the last few years, it's a fresh comp. It's a chance to, like I said, we rotated just a few of the boys on the weekend, and boys who were putting their hands up in training deserve an opportunity. So, looks a real good chance of building that depth. And like we've seen over the last few years, that if we go deep in this competition, it really does drive excitement in the club with the supporters. So, it's a competition we love, and it's certainly special with the club, the European weekend. So we want to give ourselves the best possible chance of having knockout rugby. So yeah, look, we're taking it as seriously as we can.
Yeah, that was certainly the case 2 seasons ago, wasn't it? When you had Brive, remember you beating Brive and then Clermont as well.
Yeah, and it's great. And those that probably was a focal point of our season. So like I said, it's really exciting. We get to play against different teams. We get to change a few things in our training week and play slightly differently. So look, it's exciting, and hopefully we've seen a good travelling support go away to Bayonne. We're seeing Black Lion, who we've seen before, Georgian teams, we get to see different types of teams. But we want to create kind of special weekends and stuff for the supporters as well, and a chance to, like I said, give ourselves a fighting chance on in two different competitions.
You mentioned Black Lion, a team you'll be taking seriously, especially after last year.
Definitely, yeah. Look, we took them pretty serious last year, and they showed they're a good team. Obviously, really well coached with our Georgian coaching group in there. And look, they've got some serious players in there, and some power within it. So yeah, look, we're taking it serious. I realise that home wins in this comp is pretty important, and realise they would have picked up a home win last week as well, so their confidence will be high. But yeah, we're in a pretty good place. The squad's excited. The boys have trained really well the front part of this week. So looking forward to the European game at home and a Sunday afternoon. So hopefully we can get a good crowd down here, and yeah, and build on the positives we've had over the last few weeks.
Just fitness wise, how are you for this weekend in
Yeah,
terms of personnel?
I think we're pretty good. Obviously, a few boys would have had a weekend off last week, come back into contention. Unfortunately, I think Sam Wainwright picked up a bit of an ankle issue early on, so we'll just investigate him a bit further. But I think in the whole, we're pretty good. So it's nice to have proper selection meetings and a few headaches, and to be able to kind of play around with a few new combinations.
Sam Costello, how's he doing fitness wise?
Yeah, hopefully he's coming back into the mix this week. He's trained early part of the week, so as long as everything goes well, I think Sam's in contention to play again this week. So he's looked good, he's looked fresh, really energized. So he's brought a bit of energy to training this week, which has been really good to see.
And it's a big, obviously, part of the calendar, isn't it? Now going in to those festive derbies and continuing with the form you showed in the first part of the season.
Yeah, that's the thing is. No, we're giving ourselves a fighting chance in a lot of these games now, and it's nice that a lot of our conversations is, how do we win? How do we put teams away sooner and stuff? So it's been really positive, and some of the players, players been great. When the boys are away, I thought the younger group and the non-international group was really good, and we had a really good month. And then the boys have come back from Welsh camp in really good spirits and really added to us. So it's a really good group at the moment, really good competition within them. Boys are getting on really well, but really getting after each other as well, which is great to see.
Just a final one. I wanted to speak to you about Eddie James, not your expertise possibly, but he came on in the autumns. The last game came on against South Africa, and there are some players, aren't there, that you see that look comfortable making the step up to international rugby. Do you see that in him? And what does he need to do possibly to kick on?
Yeah, look, there's huge. Eddie's got a huge ceiling. He's a huge man. He's got a great skill set, understands the game really well, and he's probably a bit of a late bloomer, really. He had, had a huge kind of growth spurt in college and really accelerated. So he's still learning as he's going. So things have happened really quickly for Eddie, but he's still learning all the time. And you can see within the group now, he's a lot more confident this year. He speaks a lot more. His understanding of the game is brilliant, and it's on us now just to try and get that out of him because, he like I said, he's a huge man. He can distribute the ball. He can have game-changing moments. He's got some huge collisions in defence as well. So, look, I think Eddie is someone who's going to be around the international scene for a long time, and just really excited about. I genuinely do feel as if he's growing every week, and it's just great to see him and more confidence, and the more minutes he gets on the pitch, the better he's going to be.
Cheers, Ems. I'll leave Ben. Crack on.
So, looking back to last weekend, was discipline the most frustrating part of the weekend? I think it was the highest penalty count in the Challenge Cup. What do you put that down to? I think it was 18 in the end.
Yeah, look, it's probably one of the things that stood out the most when we looked at our stats from the weekend and going away from home to France to a team that's going pretty well in the top 14. If you're giving away that amount of penalties, you're really up against it. So it's understandable. Sometimes you're going to give them away, but I think the most frustrating things was I think there's a lot we could have cut out. A lot of the cheap ones, a lot of the ones we probably piggybacked them and give them big momentum within the game. So look, you cut that penalty count from 18, 19 down to even 11, 12, then it's a different day at the office. But yeah, it's definitely something that stood out and definitely something we've spoken about as a coaching group and as a playing group as well.
I suppose on the flip side, for all the pressure those penalties bring, you got to be pleased with how the defence stood up for large periods. Just the tackle count some of the boys got through. I think Jack and Alex in the second row made more tackles than anyone else in the whole competition on the weekend.
Yeah, no, I know. There's a couple of sore bodies flying back on Sunday. So, like the spirit in the group's brilliant, and there's great competition in the group at the moment. And like I said, we're starting to get selection headaches just by boys putting their hands up. So, I think we've done some really good stuff that side of the ball. There's a few bits we can tidy up, which will, hopefully allow us to not have to make that many tackles in the game. But like I said, it's great to see, and the boys are enjoying scrapping for each other, and I think there's really good spirit being shown at the moment.
And even with the sort of the change in format, it's always felt like in Europe, you win your home games, you take the bonus point, you can get away from home. So I guess, does that make it not easier to park a narrow defeat like that, but a little bit smoother to move on to the next one?
Yeah, look, it was always going to be a tough weekend with how they're going in the top 14 and weather and travel and everything to go alongside it. So, look, we were confident going out there. Like I said, we gave ourselves a really good chance up until 75, 76 minutes. So, the feeling of coming away there disappointed not to get the win is probably a realization of where we are at the moment. Where I think we're on the up. We're a team that's looking to go to France and win games now, not just stay in games. So, but like you said, you don't go very far in these European competitions unless you win your home game. So we understand that this weekend's really important, and potentially that point that we picked up away and beyond might be important on the back end of it. But like I said, that the overall feeling is probably disappointment that we didn't come back with more.
Obviously, there's a final at the end of this in Cardiff. Does that give a little bit more, add a little bit more motivation in terms of wanting to reach it? The fact that it's in Wales.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing that we love as a club is giving our supporters home knockout rugby. We've seen before that when we earn the right to have those fixtures at home, the supporters really come out and we have great days, and we've seen it a few years ago. So look, if we can give our home supporters knockout rugby, whether it's quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then a chance for them to have another day out, then that's great. And it's part of the reason the boys love this club is how connected we are to the supporters. So we'll be doing our best to make sure they have some good days out.
And how's Parker Scarlets looking after the Ospreys made it on the weekend?
Yeah, no, it was a bit strange. We had a few notifications coming through when we were in France saying that they'd be coming in. So sure, it's probably strange for both parties, but look, it's kind of as it is, and it's nice to be able to get the fixtures done. But yeah, bit of a strange one traveling back from beyond, watching the Ospreys run out on the home patch.
Perfect. Nice one.
Yeah. Ken.
Emyr, gynta i gyd, beth oedd yr dadansoddiad o'r gêm ar y penwythnos?
Yeah, mae rai gweud o'n i wedi roi bant o'r gêm yn Wales Siomedig bod ni heb ennill e. Teimlo fel roi o'n i cyfle gorau ni na i ennill y gêm. Cwpl o munudau i mynd a o flaen a dysyn Siomedig y ffordd wnaethon ni colli a rhywbeth mowr i ni dysgu sio di cael gêm y mas. Ni'n rhoi lot o cyfleon i ni'n tymor yma i ennill y gêm yma. Just nawr, siwr ni'n sicrhau ni dro bant gyda'r 4 pwynt a dim yr 1 pwynt.
Mae wedi bod yn bloc cynta eitha addawol i chi tymor yma, a fe allai wedi bod yn well gyda gemau clos yn erbyn Benetton, gêm gyfartal yn erbyn Benetton, just yn colli yn y funud ola yn erbyn Connacht. Shwd ych chi'n edrych, shwd ych chi'n ystyried y gystadleuaeth yma nawr o ran eich tymor chi, y weithiau mae tîmodd yn arbrofi, shwd ych chi'n ystyried y gystadleuaeth?
Ie, mae'n amser cyffroes iawn. Ni'n joio bob tro ni'n chwarae mewn Ewrop. Mae'r clwb yn dwlu ar chwarae tîmedd yma, cyfle i'r cefnogwyr mynd bant a dilyn y tîm yn competition newydd. So, ni moyn rhoi cyfle golau ni'n yn y gyngrair a hefyd yn Ewrop hefyd. So, ni'n deall pa mor pwysig yw penwythnos yma. Os ni'n lli dod bant o'r 2 wythnos gyntaf gyda ennill gêm gatra, pigo lan pwynt bonus bant, ni roi ni'n yn lle weddol dda. So, mae Ewrop yn pwysig iawn i'r clwb, pwysig iawn i creu bach o hyder, creu bach o profiad yn y grŵp, so ni'n edrych mlaen iddo fe.
A gaethoch chi rediad da dim ond 2 flynedd yn ôl yn cyrraedd y rownd gyn-derfynol pryd ni'n colli yn erbyn Glasgow, ond yn curo Brif a Clermont ar y ffordd.
Ie, a fi'n credu oedd amser pwysig i clwb prynu, ond i wedi ennill cwpl o gemau yn y gyngrair mowr, a eithon ni ar bach o run yn Ewrop, a oedd yn gret. O'n i wedi gweld, oedd y clwb yn tyfu, oedd y cefnogwyr yn really dod tu ôl ni, so o'n i'n lwcus iawn i bod rhan o hwnna, a ni'n gwybod pa mor fawr oedd yna i'r clwb, so ni moyn creu y cyfleoedd yna, ni moyn creu y penwythnos na ble mae pawb a dod mas i cefnogi ni, so ni moyn creu mwy o gêm yna. So, pwysig iawn pan wythnos hyn. Ni'n pigo lan 4 pwynt i roi cyfle gorau iddyn ni.
Na, bydd gemau'n digwydd yn gloi, bydd yr gemau dros dolyg yma yn eitha cyflym, a wrth gwrs y gemau darbu sy'n mor bwysig i bob tîm yng Nghymru.
Ie, mae cyfnod pwysig iawn yn y calendar. Fi'n credu wnaethon ni roi ni cyfleon i rai boes cael munudau ar y penwythnos a rai boes sy'n mynd yn dda iawn. So fi'n teimlo fel mae garfan yn lle weddol dda ar y funud a dyn ni'n cael bach o pendos nawr yn dywys y tîm, so mae hwnna'n gret. Chats fawr ar bore di llun o pwy sy'n mynd i chwarae a pwy sy'n gorau i chwarae yn pwy gêm. So falle hwnna oedd rhywbeth o'n i heb cael lot o tymor diwetha, rhaid ni disrwl o'r boes mas tro amser. So mae'n gret bod y garfan yn mynd yn dda, mae boes yn rhoi dwylo yn y lan a mae lot o'r boes ifanc sydd o'n mewn hefyd a boes newydd wedi really adio. So mae'n teimlo fel ni'n lle dda iawn nawr i mynd ar ôl y gêm yma dros dolyg.
Chi'n edrych yn fwy cadarn os allai ddweud tymor un. Ond beth yn dy farn di yw'r gwahaniaeth rhwng tymor un a'r llynedd?
Fi'n credu ni wedi bod bach mwy ffodus gyda anafiadau. Fel fi'n sôn, ni siŵr fod cael cyfle i iwso'r chwaraewyr yn well a dim jyst chwarae nhw bob wythnos. Fi'n teimlo fel mae lot o'r boes newydd sydd o'n mewn i bod yn arbennig i'r grŵp. Mae lot o boes ifanc, dy boes o Max Page a pethau wedi dod mewn a really adio. So, mae'n teimlo fel mae garfan yn gryfach a bach mwy iach hefyd, so mae hwnna'n helpu. Fi'n credu mae'n nice nawr i cael pendost yn dywys y tîm yn lle jyst rowlio'r un boes mas tro amser. Fi'n credu mae'n gwneud dda iawn a boes sy'n dod lan i chwarae a ni'n rhoi cyfleon ni. Maen nhw'n really rhoi dwylo yn y lan hefyd, so mae'n gwneud yn anodd i ni mae hwnna'n gret.
A i gloi Black Lion o Georgia, fyddwch chi'n gwybod lot amdanyn nhw ac yn ymwybodol o'r her sy'n dod yn eich erbyn chi ar ôl iddyn nhw ennill lawr ar barc y Scarlets llynedd.
Ie, na, parchu popeth amdano nhw, tîm dda, pac enfawr. Dyma nhw tîm hyfforddi dda iawn sy'n gweithio gyda'r tîm Georgia, so fi'n credu ni gyda syniad dda o beth sy'n dod. Ni'n gobeithio chwarae mewn ffordd a roi gêm ni ato nhw. Siwr o fod i wneud lot gorfod o camgymeriadau a roi pethau bach yn syml neu blwyddyn diwetha. So, ni wedi dod nôl o Ffrainc, mae lot o hyder yn y grŵp a ni'n edrych mlaen i bod nôl gatre a lycs ni'n meddwl ni'n mynd i edrych fel tîm gwahanol tymor yn cymaru a blwyddyn diwetha.